Hey Augustine, how are you today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Congratulations on the movie, first off. And I suppose the first question I was hoping to ask you was, can you tell me a bit about casting Felicity Jones and Shailene Woodley as the two leads because they're so perfect and also we love them both so much.
Yes, yes. I mean, gosh, it was just so lucky. I feel like I think it all starts with having just this great script with these two amazing female characters, and I was excited about that and sending it out first to Felicity. She read it and immediately connected with Ellie, and it's not something we see her do that often, be funny and light. And she was like, I'm dying to, to have that lightness and to flex those muscles. And I was thrilled to have her because I wanted to see her and work with her in that regard. And then Shailene, actually, she and I had met earlier than, like, before I got the script and signed on, and just hit it off. And she's got this open heart and this, like this emotional well that seems to never empty. And so she just seemed perfect for someone in a grand sweeping love story like this. And luckily they both wanted to do it. So it was exciting.
Absolutely. I was wondering if you got to do any kind of chemistry tests between the male and female leads and the kind of counterparts, because obviously the romance is such a big part of the movie and everything.
We didn't. And I set out, when I first started the project, I thought, yeah, we need to do chemistry reads. We need to make sure that everyone works well together. But ultimately, I'd met them all separately, and just they were all so right for the roles that you're like, oh, I hope I can't not cast Navon. He's so perfect as Rory, and we have Felicity, and I just hope they work well. And then they met and they just were like, clicked. And same with Callum and Shailene. They definitely had not, I don't think they'd worked together, but we cast them both and then got them together, and it was just instantaneous. I think you're hoping, but there's also just an energy that individuals have that you're kind of hoping and intuiting, and you're like, I think they could go well together. And then we lucked out.
Absolutely. It totally worked. Totally worked. A big theme in this movie, which I find quite interesting, is it's all about new and old forms of both communication and miscommunication. So I was wondering, what are your own kind of stances and thoughts when it comes to those different modes of contact, like letter writing versus texts and calls like we do nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, an old handwritten letter, there's nothing better. It's so special, and you can keep it forever, and you can bring it back out and, use it to conjure up the person who sent it. And it's so special. But I do have to say that, like, given my life and the type of career that I have, and the distance between my husband and I, and my daughter and I, and my mom, and my friends back home, the ability to text and have an ongoing, conversation throughout the day, I'm really grateful for that. Even phone calls, I do miss a good phone call. But my friends back in Dallas, we typically get on the phone, and we're on the phone for hours, and I'm on the phone when I'm driving. And, so I like anything that helps communication, because it's hard. Sometimes I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looking kind of to the future and your future projects as well as this, I was wondering, what kind of do you have in the pipeline next? And I remember reading about you being attached to this Stoned Alone movie with Ryan Reynolds, but that's kind of gone quiet recently. So I was wondering, have there been any updates on that? And like I said, other future projects we can look forward to.
Yeah, Stone Alone, it's not completely gone away, but I think with there was like a merger of companies, and so everything kind of got sticky in there. But yeah, at the moment I'm exploring this kids book series that hopefully will become a movie, and I'm writing a film for Imagine about female surfers, and so hopefully that'll come about. Teens again, which is always it's always an interesting topic to me. But yeah, a lot of things in the pipeline.
Absolutely. Loads to look forward to there. I think I have time for one more quick question. So I suppose my last one for you would be, because, Last Letter from Your Lover is a book by Jojo Moyes. I was wondering, what would be your own go-to books, or is there perhaps a particular, maybe novel that you like to revisit?
That I revisit. Gosh, I'm not that much of a reread type person. I feel like there are so many books in the world that I haven't read. And so it's really hard for me to say, oh, I'm going to go back to this one, but I do read a lot. I think I just finished reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Have you heard of this movie? Or not, it's not a movie, it's a book. It's so good. It's about this girl who makes a deal with the devil to live forever. And it ends up being a curse because she can't be remembered by anyone. And they'll see her, and if they turn away from her, they've forgotten her. And so it's kind of like a blessing and a curse at once, but it's so good. And then I just finished Lisa Tadeo's new book, Animal, which she wrote this crazy book called Three Women. I loved that as well. And then I'm reading Conversations with Friends. Normal People was,
yes,
it was so good. And Joe Alwyn's in the new TV adaptation of the Conversations with Friends. So I'm reading that with him tonight.
Brilliant. Well, I have a few from my list. I have Conversations with Friends read, but I'm glad to add the other two to my list. Augustine, thanks so much for taking out the time, and congratulations on the movie again.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Dear Jane, please forgive this last letter.
An invitation to come away. I'll be waiting.
We are forever.